Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Steel City Sports Report, where we talk everything Steelers, Pirates, and tonight, the Pittsburgh Penguins. I am your host, Brady Vini. About 7 months ago, I would say 7 or 8 months ago, we began this journey with the Pens with expectations not being anything grandeur. On paper, this team, they looked like just a hodgepodge of all-time greats in the final stages of their careers, some middle-of-the-road free agents who were just trying to keep their NHL careers afloat, and the occasional young rookie or two still just learning how to walk, really, in the NHL, including a first-time head coach. The talks around this team were talks of disappointment in how a once proud championship contending team fell off the map. How, this team would be sellers at the deadline, trading off pieces left and right to where they try to help themselves kickstart a rebuild, and how bad this team would be on the ice to get the first overall pick in next year's draft. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you fast forward from that first night when we were here together in early October to today, and your Pittsburgh Penguins have, by their own saying, flipped the script. The legends of Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin, and Erik Karlsson, to name three, have turned back the clocks, looking like superstars once again. Those middle-of-the-road free agents have turned out to be anything but middle of the road. Your Anthony Mantha and Justin Brazos and Parker Wotherspoons of the world. They are playing, no joke, the best hockey in their careers, catching lightning in a bottle. And those young guys, they are pulling their own weight. You have got these youngsters that are helping feed and pump the energy into these older guys. They are carrying their own weight, especially a restoration project acquired via trade from Columbus and Igor Chinakhov, and a random teenager that was selected 11th overall in this past year's draft, that being Ben Kindle. And not to be forgotten in this story of the 2025-26 Penguins, the general manager and rookie head coach, Kyle Dubas and Dan Muse. They have pushed all the right buttons. Despite what the naysayers and the critics have said this season, this team, they have ignored the outside noise and come together as a brotherhood that night in and night out fought for each other and battled their way to many unexpected triumphs, including getting to this moment right now. We all are here to react live tonight as this rags to riches Pittsburgh Penguins team plays their first Stanley Cup playoff game in 3 years, on top of seeing the Pens play their first Stanley Cup playoff game in 3 years. They get to kick things off in the first round with one of the most hated rivals in their history, the Philadelphia Flyers. They kick off the most grueling gauntlet to a championship in all of the sports with an absolute bully in front of them. This Flyers team, similarly to the Penguins, they were not anybody's favorite to win the Stanley Cup to begin the year. They, as a matter of fact, you go back roughly 2 months ago when the NHL went on break for the Winter Olympics, these Flyers, they were barely in the playoff picture. After NHL play resumed, they only rattled off one of the hottest late stretches among any team in the NHL this season, overtaking teams that looked like locks for the postseason in the Columbus Blue Jackets and New York Islanders. Now, these aren't your grandfather's Flyers that will go out and goon it up every night. That's the outside interpretation of them. They still will be a pain in the ass to play against, and a formidable foe on the ice, both in the defensive zone and in the offensive zone, led by some new blood that has joined the team since the last time Philly made the playoffs 5 years ago, in Matvei Michkov, Trevor Zegras, Owen Tippett, and Noah Cates. The Flyers, they have the edge when it comes to youthful exuberance. And plus, in net, they've got a goaltender by the name of Dan Vladar, who truly went from who the hell is this guy to one of the hottest goaltenders in the league over the past little while. The veteran experience and desperation for another championship run for the Penguins, coupled with the Flyers' energy and grit, should make for one hell of a first-round playoff matchup, and hopefully it will live up to the lore of the Battle of Pennsylvania. Let's strap in tonight, ladies and gentlemen, have a fun stream, have a fun game here tonight. It should be emotional, it should be physical, but most of all, it should be a lot of fun to watch. My opening monologue is pretty much over. You guys all know it, if you're diehard hockey fans out there, how much this game truly means to the diehard hockey folks, to the city of Pittsburgh, to the city of Philadelphia. We don't like them. They don't like us. It is going to be war on the ice, hopefully for 4 games, meaning the Penguins sweep them. But it is going to be lots of fun. And if this is your first time watching playoff hockey, you are in for a treat watching this game here tonight. 6 of you already in here. I'm going to, stop my monologuing. The game will be coming on here in a few minutes. Puck drop is scheduled to be somewhere in the 8:20 to 8:25 range. We'll see if the NHL actually holds up to that. They always give out these start times. The game starts at 8 o'clock, but then you get a puck drop that's like 7 or 8 minutes after the fact. With the other playoff games going on today, puck drop, it's going to be about 25 minutes past its normal start time, which was set to be 8 o'clock. We should have been already well underway right now, but I mean, hey, it is what it is. The other playoff games today, they have been really, really well. The Carolina Hurricanes, Ottawa Senators, they kicked off the playoffs. I don't think we're in for a start to tonight's game like that Senators and Canes game, but man, wouldn't it be something? You had Brady Tkachuk and Jordan Staal, the 2 captains of each of those teams, drop the mitts right off the draw. Wouldn't it be something if you get like the 4th lines starting in this game and we get action right off the hop? I doubt it, but hey, you never know when it comes to Penguins versus Flyers. Not sure where the Dallas Stars and Minnesota Wild game is at right now. I'll look on my screen right now and hopefully read the ticker behind me and see where that is at. And also, other than Pittsburgh sports, lots going on right now in the city of Pittsburgh. The Pittsburgh Pirates and the Tampa Bay Rays, they had a game that started at 4 today. It went into about an hour and a half to 2-hour rain delay, and they just picked up action a little bit ago. That game should be coming to a close roughly sometime in the first period here tonight. And the NFL draft coming right around the corner here in the Steel City. About 500,000 people going to embark on a journey to the North Shore of Pittsburgh to watch the NFL's next generation of superstars get drafted. Tons going on here in Pittsburgh and Western Pennsylvania, but we're going to focus on tonight. Penguins versus Flyers. West side, best side, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you all get to ride along with me throughout tonight's game, and it results in a Penguins win. 6 of you already in here. If you are new here to the Steel City Sports Report, welcome in. On your way in, please hit that subscribe button. Don't cost nothing. It would do a lot here on the channel. Also, turn on notifications so that you never miss a live stream here on the Steel City Sports Report. Again, this will be, for now, our only Penguins live stream for the first round. We got a busy week coming up with the draft. That will be live for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So this is going to be the only Penguins game that we are live for up to this point in the first series. We'll see if anything else, happens to where we'll be live for more Pens games as the series goes along. Also, like this live stream, share this live stream. Let me know in the comment section your guys' thoughts, questions, and opinions on tonight's game and this series as a whole between the Pens and Flyers. I am very intrigued to hear from all of you as we go along here tonight. Already got a couple of comments in the comment section. Flacco in here. Welcome, Flacco. We also got Zitro here. Welcome, Zitro. I hope you stick around, Zitro. Is there any way to actually watch the game? Not on this live stream, and I believe the only ways that you can watch this game is if you have ESPN, ESPN Plus, to where you'd be able to watch, the game nationally on your phone or whatever. And also, if you are in the Pittsburgh and Philadelphia market areas, like right now, I currently have the Sportsnet Pittsburgh feed on here to my right. We will keep track with that as the night goes along. Also in the comment section, let me know here the feed is coming across clean on your end of the bargain here. I don't think I see any errors on my screen right here, but if the picture is coming across all right and the audio as well, please let me know. A little bit of a deeper dive into this matchup here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, between the Penguins and Flyers. This will be the 8th time all time that these teams meet in the playoffs, and it is the first time in 8 years that these two teams lock horns and go head-to-head in the playoffs. From a historic perspective, the Flyers, they currently have the edge on the Penguins in all-time playoff series wins, 4-3. But the Penguins, unsurprisingly, have won 3 of the last 4 playoff series with the Flyers. That, of course, being in the Sidney Crosby era. It is Crosby, typically owning the Flyers. We all know about how Sid loves getting up for these games. Looking at their head-to-head matchups this year between the Flyers and the Penguins, 2-2. It's 50-50 right down the middle. The Flyers with 2 wins, the Penguins with 2 wins. The Flyers, though, their 2 wins in the regular season both came in the very controversial nowadays and gimmicky overtime and shootout periods. Newsflash, boys, Flyers, I know they've got, tons of skill guys, and they like to take the games into extra innings per se. There is no 3-on-3 or uncontested breakaways that will save you this time. So we'll see if the Flyers are able to keep up with the Pens when it comes to 5-on-5. Looking at where these teams are in certain categories this season, you're looking at the Flyers. They finished the season, I believe, with 90. Where are they at here? They finished with 98 points. That is tied with the Penguins, but the Penguins, they ended up getting the tiebreakers in that and clinched, home ice advantage with like 3 games left to go in the season. The Flyers did have a ton of shootout wins. They led the league with 10 shootout wins. So that's why I say, hey, you think you can keep up with the gimmicky stuff now out of the way. Power play this year for the Flyers, they are 25th in the league, a 15.7 power play percentage where they convert a goal. Their penalty kill, not much better, middle of the pack, 17th in the league at 77.8. Looking at the Penguins, though, they 98 points like the Flyers. Goals for this season, the Penguins, 3rd in the league in total goals scored this season. That is 290 goals, only behind the Colorado Avalanche, who were the best team in the NHL this season, and the Carolina Hurricanes, who won the Metropolitan Division. This is the most offensive, prolific team in the Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin era. Hopefully all of that offensive success translates from the regular season to the postseason. Also, the Penguins, pretty damn good when it comes to goals against. They are 8th in the league. That is outstanding for a team that really showed its offensive warts. Or actually here, never mind, I'm looking here. They are 8th in most goals against in the league this year. Still, though, for a team that started the year with Tristan Jarry, we all know how Tristan Jarry is, bringing in Stu Skinner and the defense not being entirely good throughout the season. It is fun to see the Pens at this point getting into the playoffs. Power play this year, Pens 5th best power play in the league at 24.1. Should be that at minimum with all the talent they have on their 2 power play units. And penalty kill, the Penguins 5th best in the league, 81.4% on the PK. They are going to get a big boost on the PK tonight with the re-additions of Connor Dewar and Blake Lizotte back into the lineup. And as I look over here to my right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time. Get up on your feet, make it loud, because here we go. The Penguins rocking their 3rd yellow jerseys for these playoffs. They take the ice here to take on the Philadelphia Flyers. Stu Skinner leads the Pens out onto the ice. Skinner began the year Edmonton was acquired. I'm not sure if it was after the new year or before the new year. He was acquired from the Edmonton Oilers along with Brett Kulak in a massive trade where the Oilers, they acquired Tristan Jarry. Skinner, has he been elite since coming to Pittsburgh? I mean, that's in the eye of the beholder, whether you want to believe that or not, but he has been better than what he was in Edmonton. Make no mistake about that. And of course, Skinner, in these playoffs, you like to have a guy like him, even though he has his warts to his game. I mean, every goaltender except for the elite of the elite do. He is a goaltender that did help take the Edmonton Oilers to back-to-back Stanley Cup finals each of the last 2 years. So hopefully Stu Skinner has another Cup final run in him here this year as he leads the Penguins out onto the ice. At the other end of the ice, of course, mentioned him in the pregame, Dan Vladar, the Flyers team MVP, will be in goal. Not exactly sure where Vladar is in terms of stats, but he has been one of the hotter goaltenders in the NHL after the last little bit. Hopefully the Penguins can slap him back to factory settings here this evening. The lineups for these two teams, we'll start here with the Flyers tonight. They have a pretty deep decor, but their forward group might be a little bit behind as you get further down the lineup. Top line, Trevor Zegras, Owen Tippett, and Tyson Forrester. That is a lot of youth, a lot of speed, and a lot of offensive creativity on that top line. The second line, 2 veterans and a rookie, Christian Dvorak, Travis Konechny. Konechny, one of the longtime Flyers that I believe was on the Flyers roster the last time they made the playoffs 5 years ago, one of few in that department. Konechny, Dvorak, and Porter Martone. We talk about Ben Kindle being the young rookie that emerged from the 11th overall pick in this past year's draft. Martone, I believe, was drafted somewhere in the 6th to 9th pick range. I can't remember exactly where. He is young, he is big, he is skilled. I believe one of his comps coming out of the draft was of the Matthew Tkachuk ilk. The third line for the Flyers, Noah Cates, their points leader, I believe, or close to the top of their points leader category over the last little while. He centers Matvei Michkov, young Russian winger who's got a ton of skill, and Denver Barkey, another young gun on this Flyers team. And then the fourth line, their captain, Sean Couturier, another longtime Flyer. He centers a gritty line with Garnett Hathaway and Luke Glendening. The D pairs for the Flyers, Travis Sanheim and Rasmus Ristolainen, 2 vets there. Sanheim, a longtime Flyer. Cam York and Jamie Drysdale, 2 youngsters right there on the younger sides of their careers. They're not, just, getting their feet wet in the NHL. They have been in the NHL for the past few seasons, but still young. And then the third pairing, Nick Seeler and Emil Andre. For the Penguins, their lineup, something that we've seen a good bit over the last little while. Igor Chinakhov, Sidney Crosby, Brian Rust as the top line. Chinakhov getting a chance with Sid. He has been an absolute goal-scoring threat since the Penguins acquired him from the Columbus Blue Jackets. Second line, Ricard Raquel getting another shot at center with Evgeny Malkin and Tommy Novak. A new third line for the Penguins, Elmer Soderblom with Ben Kindle and Anthony Mantha, the kid with 2 big bodies there. And then the fourth line back together again, Dewar, Lizotte, Achari. D pairs, defensemen, all the same across the board. Wotherspoon, Carlson, Gerard, Letang, Shea, and Clifton. No Justin Brazeau. He is taking a night up in the press box for the Penguins. With that, ladies and gentlemen, puck has dropped and we are underway here in the 2025-26 Stanley Cup playoffs. The Penguins and the Flyers, the Battle of Pennsylvania in round 1. Early offensive zone time here for the Penguins. Igor Chinakhov against the boards, and I believe also Brian Rust taking a pair of hard hits. Behind the net, Sanheim sends it up the boards. Kept alive in the zone by Erik Karlsson down the boards. Now it's Luke Glendening, former longtime Detroit Red Wing. Puck now comes loose to Rasmus Ristolainen. He'll chip it in. Chasing after it, Couturier delivers a hard check on Wotherspoon, who plays it to Karlsson. EK65, a resurgent season in the career of Erik Karlsson this season. Went from trade candidate looking like a shell of his former self to looking like a Norris Trophy candidate once again. Pass up here to Ricard Raquel, Evgeny Malkin over the blue line. A pass for Chris Letang was stick lifted by Porter Martone. Behind the net now, Tommy Novak trying to bring it out in front. Shot didn't make it on goal. Up high, Gerard to Letang, D to D. Letang's shot from the point hit off of a body and did not make it on goal. Here comes the Flyers the other way with maybe a little bit of numbers. Martone pass in the middle here. In Cates, shot off the post. Evgeny Malkin had Noah Cates get behind him. And Cates, not all that hard of a shot, went off of the post glove side on Stuart Skinner. Sam Girard with it now, trying to alleviate the pressure. He gets it out to center. Here's Glue. Elmer Soderblom tried to knife his way through the middle. Sticked away there by the Flyers. Some early contact between these two teams as expected. Shoulder checks, finishing hits each and every opportunity. Soderblom here takes a hard hit as we have got a whistle here. And now we're going to get action. They're going to mix it up. Elmer Soderblom, I believe, was called offside. And a hard hit delivered by Nick Sealer, I believe. And he's going to get a penalty because of it. The referee, he is pointing to one of the Flyers players. It was offside, and it was Rasmus Ristolainen actually delivered a check on Soderblom after the whistle. That is a penalty on Ristolainen. Soderblom, Connor Clifton trying to get at Ristolainen, and the Penguins here, I believe, are going to have a power play less than 2 minutes into the game. The crowd ignited and on their feet at PPG Paints Arena. Penguins an early man advantage to begin this hockey game, and Rick Tocchet, the Philadelphia Flyers head coach, former Penguin and Flyer in his playing days and also in his coaching days. He was an assistant coach on the 16 and 17 Stanley Cup teams for the Penguins. He is not going to be happy about that penalty for the Flyers. I believe it was Tocchet. He said before this game, the past couple of days, he wants the Flyers to play with a controlled aggression, a controlled anger. He wants them to feed into the Penguins and Flyers' heated and hatred-filled rivalry, but to play smart. Ristolainen certainly not smart there. Power play for the Penguins. Puck is dropped. It is one back to the point. Carlson wrists it down low, stepping down here from the point. Malkin. Puck gets past him and sent out to center. Penguins will have to regroup. Crosby, Carlson, Malkin, Raquel, and Rust, the top power play unit for these Penguins. Raquel playing it over to Crosby, over center red, now over the blue line to Rust. Rust, down low, Crosby trying to chip one up the boards there, couldn't get it to Malkin, and it's cleared the length of the ice again by the Flyers. Carlson takes it from behind his net. He'll wind it up through center. Carlson going end to end here. Now to Crosby, cross the ice here. Rust, Brian Rust, looking, back up high to Raquel. Penguins tight up against the blue line here. Malkin, back to Carlson, with time. Carlson, a shot tipped, and it went wide. Crosby got a stick on it in front. Pass over here again, and it is just out of reach of Rickard Raquel. Malkin going for a cross-zone pass right there. Back out at center now. The Penguins regrouping, 50 seconds left here on this power play. Turnover here in the neutral zone. Back in here. I believe that's Hathaway for the Flyers. Down low to Dvorak, rubbed off by Rust. Fresh from the bench, it's Tommy Novak. Second unit working its way onto the ice here for the Penguins. Now Malkin. Draw pass here, moving in. A shot from Chinikov. I believe that was gloved down by Vladar. And cleared the length of the ice again by the Flyers. 20 seconds now left remaining on the first man advantage of the night. Letang pass over here with a step. Chinikov in, shot, and not sure if Vladar got a piece of it or it went wide. It came close to going in either way. 95-mile-an-hour wrist shot there from Igor Chinikov, who has one of the best releases that, quite honestly, I've ever seen a Pittsburgh Penguin have. Out of the penalty box, it is Ristolainen, and he gets the puck fresh out of the sin bin. Dump in on goal. Skinner sticks it wide of the net. Up high here, shot from the point. I believe that was from York, went wide. Now Ben Kindle, his first shift here in his Stanley Cup playoff career. Young 18-year-old rookie. Puck out at center here, taking control of by Forster. He dumps it in. Letang tried to have a dipsy doodle move around Trevor Zegras, couldn't do it. Puck goes to Parker Wotherspoon. Wotherspoon here. Realizing Penguins got a mixed match of lines out there. Waits for some fresh troops to come on. Pass up here through center. It is going to be wide of both Connor Dewar and Blake Lazat. A stretch pass there from Wotherspoon misses both men, and it is icing. Another look here at the Penguins power play. Shot from the point from Erik Karlsson. It indeed was tipped by Sidney Crosby and went just wide of the net. Another look here at the chance from Igor Chinikov, one of his chances. One went off of his own man, and the other, you're talking about millimeters, missing the far post on Dan Vladar. Face off back here in the Penguin zone. It'll be to the right of Stu Skinner. Dvorak with the win. Up high, York a shot off of Noel Acciari. Penguins fourth line. Been one of their best lines this season. Trying to get the energy going here. Pass here from Vladar up the boards. Nearly gloved down by Acciari. Acciari now gets a shot after the puck bounced back to him. Save made by Vladar. Second shot of the game for the Penguins. The fourth line here showing why they are one of the best lines this season for the Penguins. Keeping offensive zone pressure until a moment ago when it came back out to center. That fourth line reunited here in full for the first time in 20 games. Blake Lazat missing 16 games. Connor Dewar missing 4. Puck is going to be dumped down here into the Flyers zone. Erik Karlsson, kicking it up the boards. Taken away there. The shot from the point by Noah Cates. It is gloved down by Stu Skinner, and he'll get the game's first whistle with 14:32 left to go in the first period. Their first, I believe, whistle in the Penguins offensive zone here. Misspoke there. 5 of you in here to the comment section here, ladies and gentlemen. What is going on in here, guys? A couple of viewers that we know all too well in here. Derpy is in here. You also got THP. What's going on, THP? Derpy, is that true? I have not been on Twitter in the last little bit. If that is true, let me know here. I will go and check that out here, maybe on a commercial break. Offsides here for the Flyers. Ryan Shea giving a little shot in the back to Noah Cates, I believe here. Let me look. My Twitter feed right now, I'm barely getting any NFL news right now. It is all Penguins and Flyers stuff right now. The barn absolutely rocking there at PPG. Let me see here. Is that true? The Dexter Lawrence thing? Let me go here. Did Sexy Dexy get moved there by the G-Men? Play resumes here between the Pens and the Flyers. Breaking it up through center here and dumping it in is Tommy Novak. Hard check by Rickard Rakell in the corner. Puck comes up high. Ryan Shea looking for Evgeny Malkin. Could not go tape to tape. Now in the other corner, Tommy Novak circling out behind with it. Up high, Connor Clifton, a shot. That one went off of maybe the helmet of Dan Vladar. Bit of a changeup of a shot. He had to really fight it off. Dumped back in again here by the Penguins. Indeed, that is true. 8 minutes ago, Dexter Lawrence getting traded to the Bengals. The Bengals giving up the 10th overall pick coming up on Thursday. Back the other way here, the Flyers with a chance. Tyson Forster, a backhander, save made by Skinner, but Chris Letang is going to take a penalty here. Was all tied up with Forster, so the Flyers, they are now going to go to the power play for the first time tonight. Tons of speed there from Forrester. We know that the Flyers, they are going to have that advantage here in these playoffs, getting the youth and speed. And now they're going to go to the power play here. I am indeed looking here on Twitter. Dexter Lawrence for the 10th overall pick. Is that a straight up here? Is that a 1-for-1? I wonder. Lawrence for the first. That's the only thing I'm seeing in this deal so far. So now the Bengals. After all, it looks like there are 3 elite defensive linemen in the AFC North. You look at all 4 AFC North teams, you have got legitimate pass rushers and top-of-the-line threats on the D-line for each and every team. The Steelers, of course, T.J. Watt. The Bengals, they now got Dexter Lawrence. They watched Trey Hendrickson walk out the door to the Baltimore Ravens, and then you got Myles Garrett with the Browns. That is crazy, and I guess sort of flips at least somewhat of the draft on its head now for Thursday night. The Giants now have 2 picks in the first round. I believe they pick 5th and they pick 10th. We'll see how they use those. THP in here. Welcome, THP. Oh, baby. It's Brady on a Saturday night special. Indeed it is. The only, for now, Penguins live stream for a playoff game. The next 2 games in this series will be Monday and Wednesday, and then Game 4 in Philadelphia will be on Saturday. We right now are not planning to be live for any of those 3 games, because Monday, when we're back here on Monday, it'll be a normal live stream. We'll do our final mock draft Monday for the Steelers. Wednesday, it'll be final preparation for the NFL draft on Thursday, and then Saturday, that'll be a Saturday night after day 3 of the NFL draft. We'll pretty much be all worn out with the voice box here by then. Back to the action here on the ice. The Flyers on the power play now, looking at their power play unit, trying to get a gauge of it. Tyson Forrester, Porter Martone out there. Martone just had a shot go wide of the net, and it's a own clear for Philadelphia. Penguins will take that. Looks like Jamie Drysdale, Trevor Zegras, Porter Martone, Tyson Forster, and Noah Cates is the top unit here for the Flyers. Puck stopped behind the Pens net by Skinner, cleared the length of the ice again by Parker Wotherspoon. Great stuff there for the Penguins in the first now minute of this power play for the Flyers. 60 seconds remaining. Martone into the Flyers zone. Now Travis Konechny out there, spins it up high. Matvei Nichkov wrapping it down low. Owen Tippett there. Plays it back for Konechny. Flyers second unit now on up high. Ristolainen walking the blue line. Back over to Konechny on the half wall. Konechny, a shot tipped on the way in by Christian Dvorak, and Stu Skinner able to get his mitt down and scoop that one right up off of the ice for the whistle. Good stuff right there from Stu Skinner early in this hockey game. Been sharp with the glove hand. Hopefully that is able to continue. 39 seconds left now on this man advantage for the Flyers. We are just about 8 minutes into this hockey game. Shots right now 6-4 in favor of the Flyers. False start on the draw. Noel Acciari waved out. Blake Lizotte in. Lizotte against Dvorak, and Lizotte getting a big win right there. Hasn't seen action in 16 games. That component of his game has been greatly missed by the Penguins as they get the clear. Lizotte, what he brings to the penalty kill, and also his ability in the face-off dot, that has been greatly missed. And are you kidding me? The Flyers score, but it is waved off. It is waved off. And we're going to have some action here. Christian Dvorak trying to drive to the net. He made contact with Stu Skinner. The puck went in, but it is immediately waved off by the referee. The 10 players on the ice all come together. And yeah, that is going to be goaltender interference on Stu Skinner. He was expecting a backdoor pass to Owen Tippett, was a little bit out of position, but Dvorak crashing hard to the crease knocked the puck in along with Stu Skinner. The goal is waved off. Stu Skinner is getting attended to, or talking with the Penguins trainer right now. His arm really got crushed between his own hip and the full body weight of a falling Christian Dvorak. Looking here again, puck goes up in the air after it goes off of Skinner's stick, and then it goes off of the body of Dvorak and in, but it is waved off. Skinner is going to stay in there and maybe fight through whatever he's got going on. I don't think it's anything too serious here for Stu Skinner. He is going to stay in there. So no goal for the Flyers. They do not get the goal of this hockey game. Penalty about to expire here on the Penguins, but Blake Lizotte is going to pretty much kill it off by himself, dancing all around with the puck. Now Clifton This is going to be dumped the length of the ice. Out of the penalty box, Chris Letang. The Penguins with a big first kill of this playoff series for them. Back behind his own net here, you got Rasmus Ristolainen waiting for the Flyers to regroup. Pass up here, Glendening chipping it in. Ryan Shea takes a heavy hit from Sean Couturier, but it's played by Connor Clifton up to Ben Kindle, chips it along. Or excuse me, that was Crosby. Now Igor Chinakhov takes a high hit from Sean Couturier. No call. That might have looked like head contact, but no penalty. Now Sam Girard dancing at the blue line. Backhander off of the body of Brian Rustenwide. Puck is going to be cleared again here by the Flyers, and it is going to go all the way down for an icing. And now we got action in front of the Flyers bench. It's like Igor Chinakhov looking for a bit of revenge. Luke Glendening hits the ice. Couturier delivering a pair of hard checks. Garnet Hathaway has a hold of Sidney Crosby. I think Parker Wotherspoon getting in the middle of him. And looking again at that hit from Sean Couturier, that was definitely high on Igor Chinakhov. And now Brian Rust here getting into it with Glendening. Sanheim takes exception. It was basically a tag team there of Chinakhov and Brian Rust against Luke Glendening and Travis Sanheim. No love lost, and we're not even halfway through the first period here between the Pens and the Flyers. Face-off is going to be to the right of Ladar, and we got Evgeny Malkin tied up with one of the Flyers defensemen off the draw. The Flyers D-man broke his stick. Back in here, Malkin had his Jamie Drysdale with a new stick. Passed up the boards here, taken by Matvei Michkov. Michkov here. Malkin had him lined up for a big hit, but missed. Puck dumped in by the Flyers. Skinner behind his net plays it. Letang to Raquel. Flipper out to center, glove down by Michkov. Michkov now takes a check along the boards from Ben Kindle. Letang, pass over here to Wotherspoon, and that goes off of a skate. Denver Barkey, that's who it hit off of. Wotherspoon again now with it. Letang still out there. Wonder if that's a genuine shift up of the pairings here, or if they're just waiting for Parker or Sam Girard or Erik Karlsson to get back on. Karlsson is now on. Back behind his own net. Soderblom plays it. Flipped out to center here. Anthony Mantha takes control. Mantha, soft chip into the near corner. Sealer behind the net. Takes contact there from Mantha. Pass out to center here. Here comes with a full head of steam. It's Owen Tippett. Spinorama on Karlsson. Tippett backhander off the chest and then the mask of Stuart Skinner, and it's cleared the length of the ice by the Penguins. No icing. Like we got a pair of broken sticks back in the Flyers zone. Now pass chipped along here, and here comes the Pens top line. Sidney Crosby trying to dance his way around Sanheim. Crosby ripped off the helmet of Jamie Drysdale. He's got to go off the ice here. That's a penalty. Call penalty on Drysdale. He's playing the puck without a helmet. Are they going to call a penalty on Drysdale here? They should. NHL rules, no matter how you lose your lid, you got to go off the ice or pick up your helmet and put it back on. Drysdale was still, a part of the play. Did not show any interest in going after his helmet or to the bench. The officials, they are congregating in front of the timekeepers area. You got Rust and Couturier over there. Let's hear the verdict. Looks like one of the officials is going to say something here. We got an ice cleaning here, so we're going to go to a commercial break. Oh, my goodness. So, by my read there, it looks like Crosby, who did get Drysdale's helmet off, and that's so light. That is so light on Sid. Are you kidding me? Crosby, you got Drysdale, who's pretty much hunched over by his own doing. Crosby's just trying to, sidestep his way by, and it's not my help Drysdale doesn't have. It's not my problem Drysdale doesn't have his bucket barely strapped on. That was a light penalty on Sid. They get both of them, so Sid gets nabbed with the roughing minor, and Drysdale looks like It's going to be interference, I think is what they called for that. We'll see here. Holy hell. So much has happened in this game already. And we are, I think, just over halfway through the first period. We're going to take our first break here of the evening. Stay right where you are. Penguins and Flyers. Live reactions and commentary resumes here in a moment. Stay where you are. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 8:44 left to go in the first period here between the Flyers and the Penguins. Round 1, game 1. We got some 4-on-4 hockey right now. Sidney Crosby and Jamie Drysdale to the box. Crosby, I mean, it's up to, your interpretation whether he intentionally knocked off Drysdale's bucket or not. Drysdale continued playing without a helmet. Both men get a penalty. So 4-on-4 hockey right now. Lots of open ice between these two teams. Physicality has been plentiful here in the first period. You got a soft dump here into the Flyers zone and a whistle here. Looks like maybe a high stick or something. Not quite sure what the stoppage is here. Evgeny Malkin, Tommy Novak out there as the offensive pairing here for the Penguins. Here's a look at Penguins head coach Dan Muse. First season with the Penguins, tied a franchise record with 42 wins in his first season as the bench boss for the Penguins. And, I mean, hey, knock on wood here. Let's hope the tradition comes alive. Whether it was Badger Bob Johnson, Dan Bilesma, Mike Sullivan, the whole lot of legendary Penguins head coaches. Most times, if you're a Penguins first-year head coach, team tends to do good things and take a nice trip to the Stanley Cup finals and get a win here. Hopefully that continues with Dan Muse. Shot there a moment ago from Trevor Zegras from far out was into the glove of Stuart Skinner. Zegras, probably by the time it's all said and done here in this series, public enemy number 1 here in Pittsburgh. Talk about a dude who talks the talk and does pretty rat things behind everybody's back and then doesn't have the balls to, stand up for himself. That's Trevor Zegras' game right there. 1 minute remaining here on the 4-on-4. Rickard Rakell with tons of speed into the Flyer zone. Rakell's shot save made by Vladar. Puck popped up in the air. It's gloved down by Owen Tippett. And back the other way he comes. Tippett a shot. Up high on Skinner. He was able to fight it off, and rebound there is taken away by Erik Karlsson. Karlsson now leading the charge the other way, and we've got a whistle here as Karlsson was going up ice. We don't have a penalty here. No, not a penalty. Stuart Skinner looks like a issue with his mask. Maybe a strap broke on that Tippett shot. He was able to fight that off. Ooh, Stuart Skinner. Goaltenders sometimes they have the mask, right? But they also have the neck protector right here. Don't think Skinner has one of those. So he was really, really close to just taking that shot from Tippett straight off of the neck. Seems to be all right. Fixing his mask and whatnot. 45 seconds now left on the 4-on-4 double minor to Crosby and Jamie Drysdale. Chris Letang off the face-off win for the Pens takes it back in his own zone. Pass all the way up ice here. Was looking for someone, but it goes well wide of the target and It is an icing. I think he was looking for maybe Sam Girard right there. Girard, an acquisition back near the trade deadline for the Penguins. Brett Kulak, who the Pens acquired earlier this year, was sent to Colorado in the deal. Penguins getting Girard and I believe a second. I think that was the entirety of the trade. Face off here to the right of Skinner. Dvorak versus Kindle on the draw. Do not be fooled by Ben Kindle as he wins that face-off. 18-year-old kid, but he takes face-offs like a 10-year veteran. Not too many rookies in the NHL are as good on face-offs as he is. Little battle behind the net. Puck came out to the left post, and Skinner just decided, hey, let's take another face-off. I'll throw my glove down on top of it. Talk about Dan Musin, his successes as the Penguins' new head coach. Look at the other bench. Rick Tocchet, former Penguin and Flyers player, former Penguins assistant coach, now head coach of the Flyers, where I believe he spent 11 seasons as a player. No stranger to playoff experience either is Tocchet. Not all that much as a head coach, but as an assistant with the Penguins. Two-time Stanley Cup champion as a coach. I believe he had 2 more as a player. Sidney Crosby and Jamie Drysdale now out of the box after each of them takes a penalty. Back to 5-on-5. Sam Girard against the boards there. Plays it to Letang. Now Brian Rust will sky it out to center here. Played down by Blake Lizotte. Lizotte into the zone. Puts on the brakes. Lizotte waiting for a trailer. Pestered. Got 2 Flyers all over him, and now Lizotte just is going to turn and rip it back into the Flyer zone. There's York behind the net for Philly. Plays it up here to Couturier. Couturier sidestepped the check from Mantha Mosley. Now Barkey pass over, and it went off of the stick, I believe, of Glenn Denning. Now a shot here from Mantha back in the Flyer zone. Chinikov turning. Neither made it on net. Now, I believe that was Lizotte chopping away at it. He couldn't get it to go either. Penguins trying to throw anything and everything in on Dan Vladar. Puck up high. Connor Clifton with it. Clifton back down low. Mantha there. Trying to wind one back out in front. Nobody there to slap home the pass. Flyers clear it to center. Ryan Shea fresh off the bench. Shea waiting for a wholesale change. Both the Flyers and Penguins getting new players out there. Good pass to Tommy Novak here. Novak behind the Flyers net to Crosby. Crosby back down low looking for Novak. Now Tippett plays it here to Zegras. Now Forster dumps it into the near corner. Wotherspoon in there. Absorbs check from Forrester. Keeps possession. Forster. Breakout pass here. Novak. Cross ice. Carlson in. Dropper for Crosby. Crosby down the boards. Backhander to the net. Tried to sneak one in on Vladar there, but it went wide. Crosby down low again. Raquel spinning one in front, looking for Novak. Went off of the skate of Ristolainen. And now the Flyers with it out at center. Tippett a dump in. 4:30 remaining here in this long first period, it seems like. Here's Blake Lizotte bringing it into the pen zone. Flying, trying to cut into the net. Circles behind. Lizotte rubbed off by Sanheim. Kept alive by Achari. Back down low. Ristolainen with Lizotte all over him. Hounding him. Dewar now in on the front. Pens take possession. Achari to Lizotte. Lizotte takes a check from behind. No call. Now Dewar with Ristolainen all over him. Dewar still fighting through contact. Dvorak knocks him off the puck. And finally, the Flyers sky it out to center. I believe Garnett Hathaway got it out of there, but he took a hit for his worries. Back in the pen zone, Letang. Pass out here. Ben Kindle fresh on. Pass here to Elmer Soderblom. Soderblom cuts in. Shot! Sticked away into the corner by Vladar. Now Anthony Mantha heavy in on the check. Fans erupt. Pass back here to the pen zone. Girard dropping it for, I believe that is Clifton. Girard now for Soderblom. Let's go Pens chant. Echoing through PPG Paints Arena. The Pens equaling the physicality of the Flyers now. Wrapping it up the boards here, waiting for it out at center. Mantha took a shoulder from Cates. Now Shea A dump in. Back behind his net to play it. Vladar. Now York. Hit there from, that might have been Ben Kindle, not sure. Back in his own zone here after the clear again by the Flyers. It's Clifton. Penguins bring their second line back onto the ice now. It's Novak with Raquel and Evgeny Malkin. Flyers here. Pass to center. It's going to be tipped in to the pen zone. Shea behind the net. Pickpocketed there by Barkey. Looking out in front for Cates. Couldn't connect. Comes up high to Sanheim. Sanheim is gloved down by Stuart Skinner and a stoppage in play. What a response here from the Penguins. All physicality from the Flyers for about the first half of this period. The Penguins, excellent chances there in the Flyers zone and showing some grit. That fourth line from the Pens, Lizotte, Achari, and Dewar. They are right now the best line for the Penguins so far through this game. 7 of you in here right now. On your way in, please hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications so that you never miss a thing here on the channel. Again, like this live stream, share this live stream in the comments section. If you have any thoughts, questions, or opinions, please get those in the comment section. Back to that comment section. THP and Flacco and Derpy in here talking about some of the big breaking NFL news. Dexter Lawrence to the Cincinnati Bengals. Let's wait here. He's got to pass the physical. He's got to pass the physical here. Boy, wouldn't that be something. So now the New York Giants, when we are live for the draft here on Thursday, come check us out on Thursday as well for the NFL draft. The Giants now 2 picks in the top 10. There's the thumbnail for the NFL draft. That live stream will be made a little bit later on this week. Back here to the comment section. THP again right in front of Dallas, unless Dallas trades up to 6 with Cleveland. Maybe Reese drops to 6. Who they want? Bailey. I don't know. I don't know who Dallas wants. You'd like to think they go defense. I think Dallas, they seem like a team that be infatuated with a Sonny Styles, and they'll trade up for one of those picks. But we'll see here. It does worry me that the G-Men now have 2 picks in the top 10. They're a team that I think will be going, Caleb Downs with one of those picks, but they're also a team that I think they are going to be looking at a wide receiver complement to one Malik Neighbors. So now look out for the Giants to maybe scoop up one of the Steeler wide receivers that we want. Hopefully not a Mekhi Lemon or something like that. Play resumes here. 2:30 now remaining here in the first period. This long first period between the Flyers and the Penguins. Penguins' first line out there. Puck is pinned up against the boards to the right of Dan Vladar. You got Chinikov and Rust in there doing battle with York and Drysdale. Crosby now in there trying to fend off Trevor Zegras. The Flyers take it now. Back out through center. Owen Tippett trying to dance his way through Erik Karlsson. Couldn't do it. Tippett now in the corner. Crosby trying to take the puck away from Forster. Didn't get it. Forster now down low. Zegras. Tippett a shot. That one went wide of the net. Now a hard hit from Nick Seeler on Igor Chinikov. That is now 2 big hits Chinikov has taken here in this first period. Flyers delivering some heavy hits. Karlsson here. Find his own net pass here to Ricard Raquel. 1:35 now left in the first. Gerard, dropper. Malkin, back for Tommy Novak. Novak, around one man. Ricard Raquel playing it to Novak. Up high. Letang over to Gerard. Gerard, Novak, high slot. His shot went over the net. Glove down behind the net by Raquel. Novak against the boards. Back down low for Raquel. Cross-checked there by, I believe, Emil Andre. Now along the boards. Pass is going to be kept alive here by Novak. Against the boards, Malkin there in a battle. Fending off 2 Flyers. Konechny and Andre. Behind the net, Seeler. Stopping. Malkin in. Delivers a check on him. Seeler saw it coming. Puck is back down in the Pens territory here. No icing. Martone hitting and dragging down Letang. Letang all tangled up with Martone's stick. Passing the corner here. Letang Now taking a shot at Martone. Martone gives a cross check to Letang. Letang hacking and whacking with Martone. Those two, if a whistle comes here in the next few minutes, those two might be doing battle. In the corner, Elmer Soderblom, his big 6'8 frame, taking a piece of Noah Cates. Soderblom up against the boards in the corner there. What a size disparity between Soderblom and Gerard in that corner. 6'8 to 5'11. Now Gerard trying to knife the puck out of that scrum against the boards. Still going. Now it comes up here to Ben Kindle. Kindle chipping it along for Anthony Mantha. Mantha takes that hit from Cates. York looks like he got the worst of it, and that is going to do it here for the first period of play, ladies and gentlemen. What action, I will say, in that first period. We have saw lots of physicality, lots of heavy hits. Evgeny Malkin and Travis Konechny a moment ago. Those two are no strangers to each other. They have a pretty good history, Malkin and Konechny. But the Penguins and Flyers, scoreless after one. Do you expect anything else, if we're being honest here? That was a heavyweight bout. Get some haymakers out early between these two teams in terms of physicality. Maybe this game settles into some sort of rhythm here for the second period. Welcome to playoff hockey. It is the most intense sport, going for a championship that I know. I mean, you can argue with a wall. Stanley Cup playoffs are unrivaled when it comes to entertainment. Going to take a real quick break for the first intermission. We'll be back here just before puck drop of the second period, assuming that, the stream stays live here. If you don't know Western Pennsylvania, I apologize if, some of the video quality was not all the way there for the first little bit of the stream here tonight. Storms rolling through Western Pennsylvania. Hopefully we're in the clear the rest of the way. Going to take a real quick break for the first intermission report. Nothing after one. Have a feeling this is going to get pretty ugly. It already is ugly, in my opinion. Let's see if the Penguins are able to out-ugly the ugliness of the Flyers and get a goal on the board here when we come back for the second. Concepts, shout out. Do what he says during the intermission break. Hit that like button. Hope everybody's having a good weekend. Stay where you are. First intermission break. Nothing after one between the Pens and the Flyers. Okay, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Steel City Sports Report. 20 minutes out of the way, another 20 about to begin here. Nothing after one between the Flyers and the Penguins in game one of this 7-game series, round one of the 2026 Stanley Cup playoffs. The first period, not much out of the ordinary of what you could have expected coming into this Battle of Pennsylvania. Lots of physicality, a couple grade A scoring chances, but not all that much. It was just body blows and going toe-to-toe, delivering shots early for these two teams. The hatred is definitely there. It definitely is the Battle of Pennsylvania. The Flyers laying a couple of big licks on the likes of Igor Chinikov and I believe Tommy Novak. You've gotten the Penguins. Their fourth line has been electric, getting down and dirty, getting them back into the game physically. Travis Konechny and Evgeny Malkin, those two former rivals, reigniting hatred between each other. Already setting up to be a very eventful next 40 minutes of this hockey game, maybe even more, with the way that the offenses are going. The goaltenders, when they have been asked to, have made some pretty key saves, and nothing has cleanly gone across the goal line yet. The Flyers did score in the first period, but it was called off due to goaltender interference because of Christian Dvorak driving the net. So now you've got 20 minutes down, 20 minutes to go here. Let's see what kind of adjustments these two teams made during the first intermission. Did they get all of their, big hits out of the way? Are they ready to actually, play some modern day hockey? Are we going to get more of the same? I don't know if we can get an escalation in physicality and hits, but if there is a way to do that, these two teams are going to find it. You've got the Kindle, Soderblom, and Mantha line starting against the fourth line here for the Flyers to begin this period. Couturier, Glendening, and Hathaway. Puck has dropped, and we are back underway for period number 2. Right in front of the Flyers bench, Glendening mugging Anthony Mantha, who goes down to the ice. Puck flipped out to center here by the Penguins. Dumped in by, I believe that is Cam York, the defenseman for the Flyers. Glendening here, a backhander towards the net, went wide. Soderblom trying to spin one out to center, kept alive by Couturier. His shot from the point well wide. Kindle here. Glendening coming in on him, sidesteps his check. Puck dumped in here by the Flyers after it came out to the neutral zone briefly. Kindle, dropper for Connor Clifton. Clifton through center red, dumps it in. He'll go and chase now. Clifton looking to lay the boom here, but Jamie Drysdale plays it away. Ben Kindle goes off on a change. Parker Wotherspoon back in his own territory. He stops behind the net, waits for some of his teammates to change. Wotherspoon bringing it up now. Wotherspoon, red line, he'll dump it in. Behind the Flyers net, played there by, I believe that is Ristolainen. He wrapped it up the boards, played by Porter Martone. A giveaway briefly to Igor Chinikov, but Martone gets it back now. His shot, well wide of the net. Skinner may have grazed it with the pad, but didn't really need to. Martone centering pass here for Dvorak. Now back up high here. Shot from the point off of the stick of Chinikov, and now it's Brian Rust. Bank pass, Chinikov. He's got a man. Crosby just couldn't get it to him. Sidney Crosby was streaking on the far side, but Chinikov was closed off by Travis Sanheim. Couldn't get it to him. Chinikov now has it back. Sends it over to the far corner. Rust plays it to Crosby. Crosby slaps it up high. Letang, his shot. Threw bodies in front. Vladar able to poke it out of there. And now Carlson stepping down from the point. Can't keep it alive. Back the other way goes the Flyers. Ristolainen to dump in. Girard back to play it. Now it's Amy Girard. Gains steam behind his own net. Stretch pass here. Believe that is Ricard Raquel. Tommy Novak gets his pocket pick back the other way, and with a step, it's Trevor Zegras in on goal. Save made by Stu Skinner. And the Stu chants ring out at PPG. Trevor Zegras there initially didn't look like he had, that much of a step. Then he turned on the Jets, and Skinner, with a half breakaway, makes the stop on Trevor Zegras. Now it's Chris Letang with it. Pass here. Tommy Novak over the blue line. Novak tried to pass it. Backdoor for Raquel. Couldn't get it to him. There was a sliding defenseman there as well for the Flyers. Not sure if that impeded the pass or not. Stretch pass. Malkin just taps it. Blake Lizotte on the forecheck. Hard hit on, I believe that's York. Lizotte plays it up high. Shea over to Clifton. Clifton's shot went well wide. Lizotte with it again. Fourth line on here for the Pens. The energy line that turns the tides of games. Down low, Dewar pinned up against the boards by Drysdale. Played up the boards, kept along by Evgeny Malkin. Malkin tried to go D to D. Shea got a back check here. 2-on-1 for the Flyers. Cates in a shot. Blocker save made by Stu Skinner. 2 big saves here in the first 3 minutes for Stu. Now over against the boards in the pen zone. Andre takes a healthy check from Clifton. Ryan Shea stops play for a moment behind his own net. Shea, Penguins all tangled up here. Trying to get a breakout going here. Shea still with it. Pass here to Clifton. Clifton give and go with Elmer Soderblom. Soderblom absorbs a check, keeps his feet moving. Still has it now in the Flyer zone. Down low behind the net. Kindle went through his legs. Kindle now here's Carlson, a shot. Never made it on net. Carlson sticking with it. A shot from the point there from Kindle. Might have been blockered away by Vladar. Back the other way goes the Flyers. Wotherspoon tried to keep it alive, but Couturier poked it away. Wotherspoon now up the boards to Soderblom again. End of the shift. He'll dump it in. Chasing after it is Kindle, but looks like the puck went up and out of play. So we have our, I believe, first whistle stoppage of the period here. 15:34 left to go in the first. 2 big saves a few moments ago by Stu Skinner. Got the blocker on Trevor Zegras, tried to sneak it through his armpit, and then a turnover at the blue line by Evgeny Malkin. Noah Cates the other way, another blocker save by Stu Skinner. He's locked down the upper portion of the net well so far tonight, made a couple of good glove saves back in the first, been tested blocker side this period, and he's been solid. Face-off in the Flyers zone was won by the Penguins, but it ricochets off of a body back down to their own end of the ice. Pass over here. Played up through center. Crosby now takes it. Crosby to Brian Rust. Dropper. Sid, top of the circle. Back to Rust. Rust around behind the net. Looking up high. It's Girard. Girard now. Spinorama on Konechny. Girard tried to get it back to Konechny. Turnover. It's going to be a 3-on-2 here for the Flyers, but a great play by Chris Letang. Now a 3-on-2 the other way for the Pens. Rust trying to cross zone pass to Crosby, went off of a skate. Flyers take possession again, maybe getting into a little bit of back and forth hockey right now. Rushes and odd man chances the other way for each of these teams. Girard, breakout pass for Dewar. Dewar takes a bit of an elbow check there from Tippett. Impeded him momentarily. The Flyers trying to break the other way. Lizotte pass behind Achari. Tippett now with it. Pass ahead for Zegras. Couldn't connect. Zegras in on Wotherspoon. Didn't get a good enough lick. Behind the net. Looks like that was Lizotte. Played it up for Achari. Couldn't go take the tape again. Now Chris Letang. Or no, that was Wotherspoon delivering a check on Tyson Forster. But I think the Flyers were offside. We have a whistle here. 14:15 left to go here in the second period. Connor Dewar now. They're showing him. He is on the Penguins bench, hunched over, getting checked out by a member of the Penguins medical staff here. Dewar out at center took an inadvertent collision from Owen Tippett, or maybe it was inadvertent. Didn't look like Tippett was going for a hit, but he definitely got the better of Dewar there. That'll fire up Connor Dewar. Welcome to the Penguins-Flyers rivalry here. Shots are 11-15 in favor of Philadelphia. Pens got to get some offensive mojo going here. Erik Karlsson, pass out to center. Novak chips it into the zone. Ricard Raquel, forecheck, heavy hit on York. Puck goes away from Evgeny Malkin up against the boards. Malkin now with it. Chasing after it. High slot. Malkin. Dropper. Novak working his way on in. Novak here. Shot high short side on Vladar. I think it went off of Vladar and into the netting, out of play. Clock stops here. And they're going to go to a TV timeout here with 13:48 left to go here in the first period. Or in the second period, excuse me. Doing a little bit of double duty right now. The the Pittsburgh Pirates and Tampa Bay Rays game started at 4 o'clock today. Well, actually, it started at 3:30. They moved up the start time due to storms rolling through the area. That game went through a 2.5-hour weather delay, and they resumed action probably about an hour before puck drop between the Pens and Flyers. That game is still ongoing, and it looks like the Buccos here are going to get a run. Connor Griffin up to bat. I'm not watching the game. It looks like Connor Griffin just tied up the ball game. A fielder's choice. Ben Williamson throws him out at first, but Nick York scores. The Bucks were losing 6-5 in the bottom of the 11th, and now Connor Griffin, the rookie, tied it up at 6 apiece, and Nick Gonzalez is going to come up to bat here, replacing Henry Davis. So the Bucks looking to get back-to-back series wins here against the Tampa Bay Rays. Switched over to the Pirates game here momentarily. Runner at first, one out, and Nick Gonzalez, or no, Connor Griffin did make it on base. I think they were going for a double play ball there, Tampa Bay. But the Bucks score a run. Nick Gonzalez, we'll see here in the next little bit if he is able to bring home the game-winning run. Foul tip for strike one. Going back here to the Penguins game now. They are just coming back from commercial break. Let's go, Bucks. Don't have a Buccos hat in here with me, or else I'd put one on for the next little bit. 7 of you in here right now. Subscribe to the channel. Please hit subscribe, turn on notifications, like, share, leave a comment in the comment section. Ben Kindle going to take this offensive zone face-off for the Penguins. It'll be to the right of Vladar. He'll take it against Luke Glendening. Kindle on the draw. Glendening, the veteran, wins it. Sent up the boards here by the Flyers. Kept alive by Anthony Mantha. His shot went off of a stick, and it was gloved by Dan Vladar for the whistle again. They'll do another face-off. Looks like the other Stanley Cup playoff game that was, I think, ongoing, but when we went live, the Minnesota Wild defeating the Dallas Stars in Game 1, 6-1 final score. The Wild taking it to Dallas in Game 1 of that series. Rest of the NHL Stanley Cup playoff round 1 matchups will get going tomorrow. Shot from the point there off the face-off from Erik Karlsson. Save made by Vladar. Now a kind of 2-on-1 here for the Flyers. In is Sean Couturier. His shot. Save made by Skinner, and somehow the puck wound up behind the net. Not sure if it went up in the air and over or what, but close quarter chance there for Mr. Couturier. Elmer Soderblom on the forecheck. Puck comes out to center here. Pens dump it back in. Soderblom trying to get off the ice here. Flyers were looking for a too-many-men penalty. Don't think that the guy replacing Soderblom was on yet. Back the other way. Crosby. Pass here. Shot from Brian Rust. Saved by Vladar. And puck goes out to center here. Flyers take possession. Dvorak backhands it into the Pen zone. Skinner behind his net, stopping it. Plays it up the boards to Chinakhov. Puck bounced out in front to Konechny. He now has it again. Konechny up high to Ristolainen. Now Sanheim, a shot. Went wide. Chinakhov behind the net. Plays it to Shea. Shea trying to outmaneuver Dvorak. Back to Chinakhov again. He's trying to get it out of the zone. Pestering Brian Rust was, I believe, Dvorak. Rust wins it. Pass here to Chinakhov. Went past him and off of the pad of Vladar into the corner. Back the other way comes Philly. Martone. Turnover here. It's Chinakhov. Tried to feed Rust. Now gets it in front, and Rust had his stick lifted. Damn it. That would have been a good opportunity. Maybe the best one of the game so far for the Pens. But just not quick enough on the pass was Chinakhov. Fourth line out there for the Pens. Lizotte spinning one out in front. I believe that went off of a defenseman's skate. Now Chris Letang circling from behind the net. Letang off of the stick of Vladar. Pass ahead here. It's Owen Tippett behind the Pens defense. Save made by Stu Skinner. How the hell did Tippett get there? I have no idea, but Skinner just made another 10-bell save on a breakaway. Dewar the other way. His shot off of a stick did not get anything on it. Achari out at center. Meets with Tyson Forster. Nudges him off. Now you got Connor Dewar in there trying to give Trevor Zegras a couple healthy cross checks. Dewar now tripped up a little bit. No call. I think he might have just fallen. Now Zegras to Forster. Forster in the corner. Letang slamming Zegras against the boards. Now he has the puck. Zegras up high. Andre walking the blue line. His shot off of a skate. Might have hit his own guy. Tippett. Boxes out Lizotte. Zegras up high. Barkey to Zegras. Zegras still dancing with it now behind the Pens net. Up high. There's a shot there from Drysdale, and it goes in. He scores. That went through a lot of traffic. Have no idea how it got through, but the Flyers, after chance this period, they get the first goal of the hockey game. Stu Skinner, he could only do so much for the Pens this period. And then it is Drysdale. That shot looks like it went far side on Skinner. Looking here, and Skinner looks like it went 5-hole, actually. He was moving around a little bit, tried to hug the post, and as he lifted his pad up to push off, it went 5-hole. So 1-0 Philadelphia, first career playoff goal for Jamie Drysdale comes at just before the midway point of this second period. Icing here on the Flyers off the resuming face-off. Puck is going to come down to their zone. That shot looks like it also might have gone off of the stick of Tommy Novak. So maybe Skinner was expecting a fastball, got a bit of a change-up too. Face-off won by the Flyers and cleared again. No icing. It went in on Skinner. Back in the Pen zone here. Carlson now going to bring it up ice here for the Pens. Carlson putting on the brakes, stops it behind, or sends it behind the net just over the blue line. Drysdale takes a heavy hit from Raquel. Rickard Raquel, I mean, maybe in competition for the most physical Penguin here tonight. You know, not named Connor Clifton. I think that's, you know, Connor Clifton's game, you know, to get really physical. But Rickard Raquel has been surprisingly in finishing checks here today. Like to see him pot one here maybe for his hard work. Another icing on the Flyers. Shots 15-9 in favor of Philadelphia. The Pirates game, they did not get across the game-winning run, is now 6-6 at the top of the 12th inning. Which game goes longer tonight? The Pirates or the Penguins? That might be, you know, worth the discussion now. Erik Karlsson tried to dump in, ended up hitting Sidney Crosby, taken by Igor Chinakhov. Pass over. Went off of the skate of Brian Rust. Crosby now with it up high. D-to-D pass. Ryan Shea, his shot off of Rust's body. Interference call is coming up here against the Flyers. Sanheim, Brian Rust trying to goad him into another penalty. Travis Sanheim and Sidney Crosby. Sanheim takes out Sid, and now we're going to have action here. Even more. The Flyers trying to goat the Pens into another penalty here. Be careful, boys. Brian Rust, Ryan Shea, Connor Clifton all in on it here. And the Penguins are going to get another power play here. Garnet Hathaway, Sean Couturier were in there stirring things up for the Flyer. That's no surprise given their game. And it's going to be an interference call here on Sanheim. The Pens back to the power play. And if there was ever a time for the Pens to figure things out, get some offensive mojo, now's the time. Bit of a slew foot, too, by Sanheim. That was pretty dirty. So now we got a power play coming up here for the Pens, down by 1, little past the midway point here in the second period. 5 of you in here still hanging around. Please, in the comments section, let me know what your thoughts are on the game thus far. Subscribe to the channel, like this live stream, share this live stream. Back here to the Pirates game. I think the Pirates got through the top of the 12th inning without giving up a run. So they strand that automatic runner at second or third base. Don't know which one. It's 6-6 now, heading to the bottom of the 12th inning, and it's the top of the order for the Pirates: Cruz, Lau, and Reynolds. So hopefully they're able to scratch across the game-winning run here in one moment. Got a bit of a talk here. I flipped back over to the Bucks game for 1 second. I think starting to drizzle a little bit here at PNC Park. And it was a double play turned. Connor Griffin and Brandon Lau getting the last 2 outs of that top of the 12th. That's awesome. It's like a little bit of a drizzle in Pittsburgh there at the ball game. I mean, wow, just really, what a time to be the city of Pittsburgh here. Money is going to be flowing in that city after, this next week. You've got the Penguins in the playoffs. The Pirates are red hot, having a home series. They're about to go out on the road for 2 series here this week. The Riverhounds are in town, the soccer team, and then the NFL draft is coming up Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We will be live for all 3 of those days, so please come on back here to see what all goes down. Getting a little bit nervous about the NFL draft, if you can't tell. Looking here at some of these comments here, heading to the 12th. Stu Skinner, he's been keeping the Pens in this game. Pens have been outplayed, not sugarcoating it for most of this game. And here's a turnover. Shorthanded opportunity. Couturier tried a backhand spinorama, but Crosby defended it well. Pinned in the corner here. Now Erik Karlsson will come away with it. Already 30 seconds killed on this Penguins power play. Gotta show some urgency here, boys. Brian Rust wraps it behind the net. Evgeny Malkin tried to kick it along right there, but looks like it might have been offsides here on the Pens. Not sure what the whistle is for. 1:24 left on the man advantage here for the Pens. Maybe you switch things over here to the second unit, try to get some things going here for the Penguins. Top unit not getting it done right now. Karlsson to Rust. Back to Karlsson over center red, spinning back towards his own zone now. He's got, I think that's Tyson Forster all over him. Now Malkin. Pass over here to the far boards. Rust chips it in. Raquel in after it, and we got a whistle here. Maybe another offsides here, or no other penalty? No, it doesn't look like it. It was an offsides. 1:03 now remaining on the power play. Second unit now on for the Pens. Novak, Mantha, Kindle, Chinikov, and I believe Sammy Girard, or no, Chris Letang, excuse me. Pass over here. Face-off was just outside. Can we get on sides? Come on. Can we get on sides, please? And now is 3 offsides here for the Penguins. Got to be kidding me. Stay on sides. Not all that hard here, boys. Come on. Face-off outside the Flyers zone again. Won by Philly, and there is a clear. Or no, wasn't a clear. False drop of the puck there. Was looking away from the screen there for a second. Didn't see what happened. Pass over here. Chinikov dump in. Now go. Hockey 101. Let puck get over blue line, then go chase it. Chinikov up high with it. Wraps it behind the net again. Goes past everyone to the far side. Novak. Back behind again. Wrist the line and wrapping it around the boards in a clear. Penguins power play here in the second period. Absolutely nothing doing it. Ristolainen brings it back in here way offsides. I have no idea what the hell he was doing. Clock stops here. 7:53 left to go in the period. 31 seconds left to go on the power play. Oh. Face off just outside the pen zone. Won by Crosby against Glendenning. Penn's top unit back out here for the final half minute of this power play. Crosby knifing his way through center to Raquel. Now drop for Malkin. Back to Raquel in the corner. Malkin with it on the half wall. Working his way in slowly up high. Carlson walking the blue line over to Crosby. Crosby back to Carlson to Sid. Down low. Looks like Malkin. Pass for Rust. Went past him and Penguins. A self-clear and the penalty is over for the Flyers. Back in here, Raquel trying to fight for position with Sanheim. Takes a hard check from York. Sit up high. Letang over to Girard. High slot Malkin returns it to Girard. Girard's shot off of the shin pads, a sealer, and it's going to go glassing out here for the Flyers. Back in his own end, Girard. Girard now skating things up through center. Pass over to his D partner, Letang. Back for Girard. Dumps it behind the net. Lizotte in on the forecheck. Couturier. Couldn't get it away from Lizotte. Now Girard, a shot here. And that one hit off of a stick and changed direction, almost winning on goal. Now Chris Letang pump faking a slap shot. Goes to the far corner for Lizotte. Sammy Girard. Another spinorama move, and it is offsides. He's tried that spinorama move at the blue line like 3 times tonight. I know you're trying to create offense, but there's a time and a place for that stuff. And of those 3, spinoramas, one of them's resulted in an offside now, and the other one, I think, caused a turnover and a chance the other way for the Flyers earlier this period. So, Girard, not that guy. Please knock it off. Seeing here, apparently the physicality and hatred on the ice has translated off the ice as well. Seeing a post right now, update from PPG Paints Arena. Before puck drop tonight, 2 fights, 5 fan ejections already. Hopefully those are between, Pens and Flyers fan. No internal strife amongst Penguins fans. Flyers are going to dump it into the pen zone here. Skinner behind his net plays it. Throws it up the boards here. Nearly picked off by Martone, but Soderblom give and go with Mantha. Now Ben Kindle puts on the brakes. Kindle waiting for a trailer. Sends it behind the net again. There is Drysdale with it. Kept alive at the point by Shea. Dumped down low again. Soderblom trying to fend off Michkov, but the Flyers take possession. Here comes Martone the other way. Pass over here for Dvorak. Dvorak's shot from a tight angle went well wide. Martone takes a hard check from Clifton against the boards. Konechny in there on the forecheck. Clifton. Now it's Ben Kindle. Kindle trying to skate it out to center. Peels back in towards his own goal here. Kindle now to Clifton, over to Shea, and now out through center. Stretch pass for Chinakhov. Chinakhov sandwiched there by 2 Flyers. Flyers back the other way here. Penn's D got caught in a change. Cates pass trying to get it to Denver Barkey in a fantastic defensive play there by Wotherspoon. Play is now behind the Pens net. Barkey up high. Down low again. It goes from the point. Now it's Crosby playing it to Carlson. Here's Rust. Rust flipping it ahead. Chinakhov in on the forecheck. Ristolainen. Now Crosby. Sanheim trying to fight the puck away from Sid. Rust back up high. It's Carlson walking the blue line. Back over to Rusty. Down low, Crosby. Sanheim there battling with him. Crosby still protecting that puck. He's fighting off 2 Flyers and he still has it. Hell of a job there by Sid. Wotherspoon over to Carlson. Shot from the point. Oh, went off of a skating wide. That looked real close. Rust. Carlson slapper. Went off of the stick of Novak and wide. Tommy Novak now with it. Penn's generating some offensive pressure here. Letang. There's a shot from Raquel, save made by Vladar. Gino in. He scores! Evgeny Malkin! The Pens applying pressure. They finally break through. Gino. Redemption. Gets the first goal of the game for the Pens. That was a hell of a job done right there by the Penguins. It started behind the net. Sidney Crosby doing dirty work, fending off 2 Flyers, protecting the puck, Erik Karlsson generating some shots from the point. And then Evgeny Malkin, who I believe was fresh off the bench, fires one to an unexpected Dan Vladar. He couldn't get down in the butterfly quick enough. It goes 5-hole, and the Pens have tied it at 1 with 4 minutes to go in the second. Play resumes. Malkin, first goal of the playoffs, his 14th career postseason goal. Now Lizotte plays it to Letang. Or maybe that wasn't Gino's 14th career postseason goal. Maybe against the Flyers. I mean, I don't know. I didn't get to read that stat quick enough. And who does Dan Muse throw back out there to keep this mojo going? The fourth line crashing and banging here for the Pens. Soft dump in here for the Penguins as they go through some changes. Drysdale, stretch pass here, tipped in by Forster. Skinner back to play it. Now it's Letang up to Ryan Shea. Shea, puck is going to stay in the Pen zone here. Couldn't get a clean pass off. Shea ducks a hit. Letang up the boards here. And now it comes back out to center. Back to get it is Sealer. 2:50 left to go here in the period. Malkin, hard check on Sealer. Sealer and Malkin go at it behind the net. Are they going to drop the gloves here? Behind the play they are. Maybe. Sealer and Malkin, and now a cross check from Sealer to Malkin's arm. Play stopped. I assume it was because of all of that commotion behind the play. Fans are looking for a penalty. A fan in the crowd giving the double bird to Nick Sealer. That's Pens Flyers rivalry for you. Malkin, probably in a heavy Russian accent, saying F you, buddy, to Sealer. Are we getting penalties here out of this? Trying to figure out here. Did Malkin and Sealer both get penalties there, or did just Malkin? Trying to figure this out here. They don't have any penalties popped up here on NHL.com. They go to another commercial break here with 2:49 left to go here. Not seeing anything quite yet. I don't have the volume up real loud, so I can't hear really what's going on, but penalty stopped. What the thing that truly matters, Evgeny Malkin tying up the game. And I just checked in on the Bucks game here, and that is really depressing. It's now 8-6 in the top of the 13th inning, and there's nobody out. Nobody on, nobody out. Cedric Mullins, a 2-run home run off of Yohan Ramirez, made it 8-6. Ugh. So Tampa Bay Rays, their chances of winning that baseball game that never ends, seemingly, just went up, and Ben Williamson, the second baseman for the Rays, just singled. So, the Pirates looks like they're not going to get the dub tonight unless they do something fantastic. So the comments section, goal horn for Evgeny Malkin, tying up this hockey game at 1 with 2:49 left to go here in the second period. I mean, for as intense as these first two periods have been, imagine what the third period, and it maybe being a tied hockey game, imagine how that goes. 2:49. Looks like we're back here trying to figure out if we have any penalties. Looks like nothing. Evgeny Malkin was just in front of the Flyers bench, and Malkin just did something real dumb. Did Evgeny Malkin just... Oh, my God. Gino, wake up. Evgeny Malkin might have just slashed someone on the Flyers bench. The Flyers have gotten under Gino's skin. I wonder if he got Travis Konechny here. Looks like they took Malkin's stick, or they tried to take Malkin's stick. Malkin here think he might have had someone grab his jersey from the Flyers bench, and then he took a whack at them too. No penalty on Gino. He's staying in this game right now. Keep an eye on Evgeny Malkin. He's pissed off. Play resumes here. 2:30 now left to go in the second period. Crosby now for Brian Rust, trying to wheel his way through center. Now it's over here to Carlson. Carlson over the blue line. Soft chip into the corner for Rust. Rust back up high to Crosby. Crosby down low. Rust still pinned against the boards by Drysdale. Chinakhov down low. Rust. Puck went off of his stick. Crosby down there as well, trying to help. Comes over to the far side. Forster. Pass ahead for Owen Tippett. Was out in front. Turned over to the Pens. Now Letang. To Gerard. Looks like we got a Gino chant here from the Pens crowd. Gerard centering one for a Penguin that wasn't there. Now Ben Kindle in the corner. Cycling up high. Kindle. Pass here to Gerard. Nice pass. Over. Slap shot from Mantha, and that one looks like it might have hit Elmer Soderblom. Friendly fire. That stung Soderblom. He's going to head off for a change here. That one hurt. Now Mantha, hard check on Ristolainen behind the net. Anthony Mantha throwing the body weight. Now pass over here. Gerard a shot blocked by Tippett. Ben Kindle still out there here. End of the shift. And now we've got a penalty here. And Kindle touched it here. Are the Pens going shorthanded? Rasmus Ristolainen is bucketless. I think he and Mantha were battling, and Mantha's going to the box. Really? Anthony Mantha just a few moments ago delivered one of the hardest checks thrown by a Penguin in this game on Ristolainen. And then Ristolainen cross-check to Mantha. Mantha here. I mean, Ristolainen's putting himself in a compromising position there. Mantha knocks his bucket off. The Flyers, for having, a pretty big-sized team, they're really, doing some soft stuff going low. And there's a look at the replay there. Mantha, friendly fire on Soderblom. Stung him. Hopefully Elmer is okay. So the Penguins now, 1:12 left to go in this second period. They're going to need to kill off a penalty here for the rest of this period and about the first 50 seconds of the next period. Stopped behind the net. Penguins cleared it. Vladar able to stop it for his teammate. Trevor Zegras bringing it up here for Philly. Now Martone stops over the blue line. Martone tried to get it back to Zegras. Pops up into the air. Cleared the length of the ice by Blake Lizotte. 1:30 left to go on the PK. 30 seconds, or 35 now left to go in the period. Martone dumps it in. Carlson is going to clear it the length of the ice. And it went on net on Vladar, so he had to kind of make a save on a bouncing puck there. 20 seconds now left. Zegras spinning his way through center. Hard check there by Dewar down to the ice. Penguins get it out to center. They might have a chance. Chinakhov is flying, trying to skate after it. But Ristolainen angled him off. Comes in front to Chinakhov. And Flyers come back, regroup. 5 seconds left. Dvorak through center. Pass to Michkov. Dvorak again. His backhander. Save made by Skinner. And that is going to do it for the second period of play. Action. One goal for each team that period. Much more nastiness. Malkin getting in on the act. Losing his marbles a little bit. Hopefully he keeps it within the legal parameters. Or maybe just a little bit outside of the legal parameters. And NHL hockey, pretty much anything goes half the time. And that's the score through 2. 1-1. Stu Skinner making a couple of big saves that period for the Pens as well. Do not take that for granted here. Going to take another quick intermission break. This game has been bananas, and expect more of the same when we come back from this intermission report. 1-1 after 2, an even more up-tempo and physical and nasty third period with high pace, high octane action. It's coming up here in a moment. Stay where you are. Second intermission. right now. We'll be back for the beginning of the third period. Okay, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, here on the Steel City Sports Report. 40 minutes down, a rocky and fast and physical 20 minutes, at least, left to play here between the Penguins and the Flyers. Game 1, round 1 of the 2026 Stanley Cup playoffs. The first period of play, not much scoring chances for either team. It was more of a demolition derby, each team taking their best shots at each other. The physicality was still there in the second period, but we got our first couple goals of the series out of the way. It was Jamie Drysdale scoring his first career NHL playoff goal in the second period. The Flyers dominating the first half of the period. The Pens, near the end of the second period, they made a strong push. Evgeny Malkin was able to get a goal off of the hard work of a couple lines before him. He beat Stan Vladar 5-0 to make it 1-1. And then the tide shifted back in favor of the Flyers. You had Anthony Mantha taking a penalty there near the end of the period. The Pens will have, I believe, 48 seconds of power play to kill off here against the Flyers. Third period about to begin. Puck drop coming up here right out at center ice. This crowd has been electric, to say the least, in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. 3 years too long between Stanley Cup playoff appearances, and we're underway here in period number 3, game 1 between the Flyers and the Pens. The Flyers' top power play unit back to work. Here comes Christian Dvorak up the middle. His shot is stopped by Stuart Skinner and Parker Wotherspoon, making sure Dvorak doesn't get anywhere near his goaltender. The MVP of the game so far for the Penguins. Hard to choose between Stu Skinner and net. He has made a flurry of 10 bell saves here tonight to keep the Penguins in this hockey game. And the Penguins' fourth line has been by far their best line, generating offensive zone time. And really, when the Flyers start to gain momentum, snatching that momentum back for the Penguins. There's that fourth line out there right now. Blake Lizotte, a big defensive zone face-off win. And the Penguins get the clear. 20 seconds now remaining on the Anthony Mantha minor. Flyers regrouping back here in their own zone. Owen Tippett flying up the middle of the ice. Pass over to the boards right there. It looks like that was Travis Konechny. Pass out in front there for Dvorak, picked off, and Blake Lizotte takes it the other way. 2-on-2 with Dewar. Lizotte puts on the brakes. Joining Erik Karlsson. His shot, he was stick lifted there. Karlsson, out of nowhere, just shot up into the play and almost had a grade A scoring opportunity, but his stick was just lifted before he could get that wrister away. Penalty expired. Anthony Mantha out of the box. Here comes Konechny up ice with it for Philly. Konechny's shot, stick lifted by Crosby. Sam Girard takes it behind the net. Girard plays it up the boards. There's Noah Cates trying to get it away from Igor Chinakhov. Puck goes back behind the Pens net here. Skinner plays it to Girard. Stops on a dime. Gives it to his D partner, Letang. Letang stretch pass. I believe he was trying to hit maybe Chinakhov. It went wide. No icing. Pens canceled that out. Puck back out at center. Letang pass ahead here for Rust off of his stick. Flyers push it to the boards. Crosby protecting the puck well again there against Sean Couturier, longtime Flyer. Kept alive at the point by Brian Rust. Cross zone feed was to nobody. Flyers will get it back out to center. Now it goes into the pen zone. Chris Letang skating away from Forrester. Letang takes a check there from Hathaway, was able to dip away from it enough. Back up ice, here comes Philly. Couturier, or no, that's Hathaway, excuse me. Connor Clifton almost destroyed Hathaway, just missed a colossal hit behind the net. Puck now sent ahead here. Trevor Zegras on the ice for Philly. Clifton trying to play it to his D partner. Shea went past him. Glendening pinned up against the boards by Novak. Right there, about a couple feet away from the Penguins bench against the boards. You got Glendening holding it there with Tommy Novak. Looks like Ricard Raquel, Porter Martone are battling there. Ryan Shea and I think Trevor Zegras there as well. Zegras taking a couple of healthy cross checks from Shea. Shot from the point here. That might have been Travis Sanheim, was easily saved by Skinner. Pass here for Ricard Raquel. Now it's Evgeny Malkin, head full of steam. Evgeny Malkin, he is wound tight right now for these Penguins. Scored a goal, and then the Flyers getting under his skin a little bit. In on goal with Soderblom, and doesn't go. Vladar makes the save, and now some more action after the whistle. Evgeny Malkin sent it back up to the point. Malkin, a give and go with Elmer Soderblom, and the Red Sea parted for Soderblom. He made his way in on goal. Soderblom trying to jam one home on Vladar. The Flyers and Penguins forwards crash on the net, but Vladar keeps it out and finds that puck somehow. Elmer Soderblom at 6'8", he has definitely been a big target tonight for the Flyers. And I mean, can you blame him, really? Dude is humongous. Plays with a lot of skill, but do not get that big boy riled up. 16:53 left here in the third. Face off to the left of Vladar. You got Kindle versus Couturier on the draw, and the veteran Couturier wins it, but the Penguins momentarily are going to have possession, battle in the corner, Ristolainen up the boards. There's Mantha with it now. Mantha back down low. Nice stiff stick lift by Kindle. Up high. Shea dumps it back down low. Mantha now with it. Trying to work it back to Shea, but Shea was coming down. Wasn't ready for that heat-seeking pass from Mantha. Regrouping in their own zone. The Penguins. Clifton waiting for the Pens to cycle back. Clifton now rushes forward. Gains the red line. Dumps it in. And after it, it's Mantha. Mantha, and oh my goodness, we got a man down here. Porter Martone, and we got both officials with their arms in the air here. Anthony Mantha going straight to the box. Think we're going to have a high sticking here on Mantha. Not sure what happened. The camera was changing angles. And yeah, Anthony Mantha, there's going to be no arguing that one. High sticking right. Not on, didn't catch any visor of Martone. Lucky it didn't get him in the eye. And Mantha just got out of the sin bin at the start of this period. Back in he goes. With 16:12 left to go in regulation. Mantha disappointed in himself. The Penguins penalty kill. Going to need another big kill right now. Draw here is going to be to the right of Stu Skinner. You had Nola Chari on the draw against Noah Cates, but false start on all sides there. Didn't let the puck hit the ice. Let's try this again. Cates v. Achari on the draw here. And Cates wins it. Back to his D-man, Drysdale. Drysdale over. Tried to give it to Zegras for a one-timer. Wasn't in his wheelhouse. Now puck is for Forrester. Forrester cross zone pass to Zegras. Zegras back up high. Drysdale. Over to Forrester. Forrester plays catch with his D partner on the power play. Drysdale. Back to Forrester. Down low. That's Martone. Top of the circle, Forrester tried a shot pass, went off the skates of Cates, and it is going to be cleared out by Blake Lizotte. Nola Chari getting a stick on it as well to finish the dump. 40 seconds now expired on this Philly power play. Back up ice, quickly they come, stretch past there, Forrester behind the play a little. And now a cross-check there from Letang sends Forrester down to the ice. Martone in the far corner. Bounces off contact up high. Drysdale. His shot went wide. Cates trying to fend off Shea. He's holding on to Shea's stick. Maybe trying to draw a penalty. Still holding on to Shea's stick. Drysdale with it, top of the circle. His shot blocked away by Brian Rust. Zegras, top of the circle's moving in. His shot off the skate of Connor Dewar. Puck bats way up in the air. That is going to be a hand pass on Philadelphia. It might be offsides too. Who knows? And that is going to do it for the top unit of the Flyers. Great job again by this Penguins penalty kill here in this third period. 45 seconds remaining on the man advantage for Philly. Lizotte and Achari back out there. They started this penalty kill. They might be looking to finish it now. Lizotte and Dvorak on the draw right outside the pen zone. Is going to be dumped in by Philly. Letang wraps it around the boards. It's not going to be hard enough to get out. Kept alive by Tippett. Over here, looks like that's Michkov with it. Dancing up and down the boards. Michkov now gives it here. Think that was Tippett over to Konechny. Tried to go backdoor to Dvorak. He tipped it wide. Would have had a wide open net too. But the pass too hot. Blake Lizotte is going to force the turnover at the blue line. Not sure if it was Michkov or Ristolainen who was playing with it up there. Lizotte separates man from puck and clears it. Anthony Mantha now out of the box as the Flyers dump in. Sammy Girard takes a check from Couturier. Couturier now behind the net, bounces off of contact. Hathaway tried to force it to the front, couldn't do it. Couturier up high. Sanheim walks. His shot hit a body, might have gone off Couturier. Brian Rust is now going to chip it out here to center. Connor Dewar trying to finish his shift strong. Can't get it dumped in. Sanheim brings it back up for Philly. Dumps it in just over the blue line. Crosby back behind here to Clifton. Clifton's going to air mail it, out to center. Drysdale takes it there for Philly. Connor Clifton stepping up. Nearly took the puck into the zone, but Noah Cates brings it back in for Philly. Bit of a high contact there from Clifton. No call. Malkin, bank pass here. Looks like it is Chinakhov. Chinakhov trying to knife his way in on the self-forecheck here. Looks like we got Chinakhov with Crosby and Malkin here on this shift for the Penguins. Flyers get it back out to center. Tippett's going to settle things down. Chinakhov was getting bullied in front of the Pens bench. Malkin was down, wasn't ready for that pass for Chinakhov. Two Flyers collide with each other, and Wotherspoon takes it away. Carlson dumps it in over center red. Soft corner dump. Sealer plays it. Will stop it behind the net for Philly. Pass to Sanheim. Sanheim now with it. It's going to chip it ahead here. Is this going to be icing? It is. That is going to be icing on the Flyers. Dvorak didn't think it should have been. Philly going to have to take a defensive zone face-off right now. How about that? 12:43 left to go here in the third. Still a low shot total for both of these teams to this point in the game. Philly been stuck on 17 for a good bit now, and the Penguins at 12. They've been playing catch-up all game long here with the Flyers on the shot total board, and now they are going to go here to a commercial break. Looks like the officials making up for that false icing call, and they're going to go to a commercial break. Going to take a quick commercial break as well. 1-1 here in period number 3 between the Flyers and the Penguins. Game coming down to crunch time. Who's going to be the hero for one of these teams? We'll get that answer here in a few minutes. Stay where you are. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Puck has just dropped quickly as they came back from commercial break. Here comes the Flyers quickly the other way. Tippett tried to get a shot on Skinner, but it went wide. Kept alive momentarily in the pen zone by Philly. Letang backhander up the boards, and Brian Rust will get it out to center, but it was knocked down by Ristolainen. Zegras to Ristolainen, who is streaking into the zone. His spinorama to the front of the net. Did not get there. 3-on-3 the other way. The Penguins led by Sam Girard. Turnover here at the blue line and a foot race here between Zegras and Letang. Zegras now has it. Pass towards the middle there. Sanheim couldn't catch it. Zegras and I believe that is Chinikov meet in the corner. Backhanded out to center by Chinikov. Over here it is going to be Ryan Shea off the bench here. They just showed really quickly before the puck dropped as they came back from commercial break. Number Swiss on Swiss. Mario Lemieux is in the building, former Penguins owner. But that's another conversation with the Penguins outside of, on ice hockey talk as the Flyers ice it here. Who's their owner right now? Fenway Sports Group did agree in principle to a sell to the Hoffman family of companies. We have no official word yet, I believe, of if that deal got finished, if the ownership has officially been transferred, and does Mario Lemieux, does he have a part in all this? Former Pens owner, maybe he takes up a minority share with the Hoffmans. We shall see. Malkin here tied up with Garnett Hathaway on the defensive zone draw for the Flyers, sent back down to Pens ice. Shea now to Erik Karlsson. Maybe that's a permanent change here for the rest of this game for Dan Muse. Ryan Shea getting elevated. Sam Girard going to be sticking with Connor Clifton the rest of the way. Stepping down the boards here, Ryan Shea trying to keep the play in the zone. He's down on his backside right now. Malkin tried to play it to Erik Karlsson. Turnover. It's going to be a half breakaway here for Denver. Barkey in the save made by Stuart Skinner. Erik Karlsson turned on the Jets to force Barkey to rush a move. Went backhand, forehand, and Skinner making the pad save. Again, another cross-zone pass here for Evgeny Malkin. Those have not been working for him tonight. Still trying it, though. Back here, Malkin plays it to Chris Letang. Letang pass up here to Soderblom. He'll dump it. Van Kindle flying in. Fighting for body position, rubbing out. I think Emil Andre there. Now, Sam Girard pinned up against the boards. Puck comes loose on the other side. Sealer plays it up to Konechny. Now here's Martone. Pass for Dvorak. Dvorak wraps it around the boards hard. Goes to his D-man, Ristolainen. Now Sanheim stepping in. Sanheim making the move. Shot in and he scores. Are you kidding me? Travis Sanheim making a move up near the blue line. Just walked right down the middle. Got on his forehand. Skated one way, shot the other on Stu Skinner. And the Flyers take a 2-1 lead here in the third period. Taking another look here at the replay, Sanheim dancing around Elmer Soderblom, and from the hash marks was skating to the left, shot back to the right. Stu Skinner was starting to slide away from that post as Sanheim let it go, and Philly a 2-1 lead with exactly half of the period left to play. 10 minutes even left on the clock. Sanheim with the goal. And this is a critical next shift here for the Penguins. Face-off won by Philly. Philly seems to be tying up a bunch of these Penguins off of the face-off, dumped in here by the Flyers. Skinner here, miscommunication with Wotherspoon, almost turned it over to Zegras, but Wotherspoon got it back. Now Wotherspoon, heavy collision with Owen Tippett, sends him down to the ice. Sanheim takes a heavy hit from Achari. That fourth line back to work here. Right now they're hemmed in their own zone, dumped behind the net by Sanheim. Letang looking for a breakout here. Tried to go across the ice to Wotherspoon, tried to go across the ice to Karlsson. Now Karlsson has it. Penguins getting a change here. 9:15 left to go in the hockey game. Carlson skates it. Now Rust. Try to pass there for Crosby. It didn't look like Crosby was looking for it. Pass ahead here for Philly. Turnover. Carlson to Rust, trying to corral this bouncing puck right now. The Penguins are finally going to get clean possession. Carlson pass over to Shea. Now Sid in center ice here. Collision there. One of the Flyers went down to the ice. Dumped in now by the Pens. And on the forecheck, Chinikov and Rust. Goes past both of them. Shea taking a hard hit out at center. Pins it up against the boards just outside of the Flyer zone. Now Couturier and Rust are in there. Couturier, oh my goodness, Rust with a rabbit punch on Sean Couturier, and Couturier gave one back to Rust. There's a little bit of a cheeky sneaking stuff. Speaking of sneaky, there was a Dewar, I believe, or no, that was Tommy Novak trying to slip one in on Dan Vladar, taking it with a power move to the net. Now Sam Girard pass ahead here. Evgeny Malkin with speed. Malkin in behind the net, tried to maybe bank one off of the backside of Dan Vladar. Didn't work. Martone and Dvorak the other way now with the Flyers. 2-on-2. Martone stopping. Throwing one to the net. Sticked away by Skinner. Now Konechny. Turnover here. Malkin cannot catch up to that loose puck. He might have been off to the races. Dumped in again by the Flyers. Mantha now on. Third line, it looks like, here for the Pens. Letang. Cross-ice pass. Off the bench, it's Soderblom. Make a repentance for yourself there, Soderblom, after Sanheim danced you at the blue line. Down low here. Mantha trying to get it back up high to Letang, taken away by Philly. Skying it into the Pen zone. Wotherspoon going to use the net, trying to fend off Denver Barkey. Pass comes out to center here. Barkey loses the reach battle with Mantha. Mantha trying to deke his way past Cates. Didn't work. Tipped ahead here by Soderblom. And on the forecheck, Soderblom going to use his reach and size to block out the two Flyers, but Philly takes possession again. Cates a dump in. 6:40 now left to go here in the third period. Carlson to Rust. Now over to Crosby. Crosby, his shot gloved there by Vladar. Puck was on edge, so I don't think Sid got everything that he wanted on that shot. Little dust up after the play here. Chinikov and Sanheim lock up a tiny bit. 2-1 the score, and another break here with 6:36, I believe, left to go in this third period of play. Back here to the comments section. Derpy, I hate this freaking team. I freaking hate this team, man. Yeah, I hate the Flyers too. But hey, don't count out the Pens quite yet. We've seen it quite a handful of times this year where the Penguins, it looks like they've been outplayed, quite frankly, for, most of the game, and then they somehow find a way to force the game into extra time. We saw that on multiple occasions in the regular season. Let's hope we can do it again here. In additional news here, looks like some of the Pittsburgh Steelers players are in the house cheering on the Penguins tonight. Got Cam Hayward and Alex Highsmith, I think Keanu Benton there as well, cheering on the Pens. That is really, really awesome. Seeing if there's anything else that's going on Twitter right now. By the way, we talked about it briefly tonight. Pittsburgh Pirates, Tampa Bay Rays, they went 13 innings. Pirates gave up 2 runs in the top of the 13th. They got one back in the bottom of the inning on a Connor Griffin RBI single, but Joey Bart struck out with 2 on in scoring position to end the ball game. So Griffin getting one back, making it 8-7. Bart behind him. Couldn't get it done. See here, the Pens have a comeback effort in them that is better than the Pirates here tonight. 8 of you in here right now. Welcome to the live stream. Derpy here. Hate both teams. I only hate the Pens when they give up goals. sorry-ass team like the Flyers with a collapsing defense every time. Yeah, we've seen that a ton this year from the Pens, but we've also seen them come back, Derpy. Have the faith. It's kind of weird. I'm being the optimistic one here. Flyers, a dump-in for them, went into the netting behind the net in the Pen zone, so face-off probably going to come back out here to the neutral zone in some way, shape, or form. Hit of the game, Parker Wotherspoon delivering a heavy check on Mr. Owen Tippett. Face-off just outside the Pen zone. Ricard Raquel, not a natural centerman, winning that face-off against Sean Couturier, but that face-off win's going to be all for naught. The Pens immediately ice it. 6:20 left to go, and a face-off coming out here to the Flyers zone. Dan Muse here, taking a look at the coach. Is he going to continue what he's been doing, cycling through the lines, or are we going to maybe shorten the bench a little bit here? We'll have to wait and see. Second line still out there for the Pens. Raquel, Malkin, and Novak. Clifton and Shea are the D-men. Face off with Zegras taking the draw. Was another false drop. These two teams tonight trying to get even the slightest advantage on the face-off. Let's do it again. Raquel, Zegras, part 2. And Raquel gets the win. Shea wraps it around the boards, waiting for it. There's Novak. Novak trying to slip one ahead for Raquel to catch up to, but the Flyers are able to knock that chance away. Malkin back here to Clifton in the Pen zone. Cross zone pass. Novak here. Now Malkin. Malkin going to chip it in. It's going to go just wide of Vladar. Back behind to play it is York. Now to Sanheim. Putting on the brakes behind the net. Trying to get it back to his D partner. Now Tippett with it. Now he drags it away from Novak, but Carlson takes the pass away. Carlson gives it here to Crosby. Dump in by Sid. So you got Dvorak there. Pinned against the boards. Wotherspoon sends it back behind the net. Chinikov. Try to spinorama to the front of the net, taken away by Konechny, and Konechny skies it back down to Pittsburgh territory. Back out to center here, Brian Rust. Will dump it in. Chinikov on the forecheck. Sanheim plays it away. Carlson stepped up, couldn't keep it in. Now we got 5 minutes left to go in this hockey game. Pens down by 1. Wotherspoon, pass ahead here for Mantha. Gets poked into the corner. Soderblom in there to help. Mantha fighting up against the boards with Cates there. Now Ben Kindle comes with it, and it hops over the stick of Sam Girard. Kindle sent it back to the point. Puck jumped right over Sammy Girard's stick, but Girard with a head full of speed around behind the net into the Flyer zone. Girard trying to power his way into the net here. Sends it in front. Got knocked away. Flyers trying to clear it. Kept alive by Letang. Back for Girard. Girard is going to be pushed out to center by, I believe, Noah Cates. So that alleviates that pressure. Letang waiting back at his hash marks. Now he skates up with it. 4:10 left to go. Penn's got to start pressing now. Vladar behind the net, stopped it. Flyers send it around here. Couturier will backhand it back down to Penn's ice. Connor Clifton trying to skate away from, I believe that is, who is that right there for the Flyers? It might be Hathaway. Yeah, it is. Flyers take possession and dump it in. 3:40 left to go now. Keep an eye on Stu Skinner, ladies and gentlemen. Dan Muse has been known to pull goaltenders pretty earlier than most in the regular season. Will he do it here? Back the other way. Forster tried to get a shot away, wouldn't go. Lizotte now to Wotherspoon. Girard out there, end of a shift. Back for Wotherspoon. Approaching 3 minutes left to go. Penn's got to start showing urgency, but they can't get into the Flyers zone. Flyers will dump it again. Girard picks it up behind the net. Now to Blake Lizotte. Lizotte trying to charge forward. Dumps it in. Delivers a heavy hit on Ristolainen. Nolachari up against the boards. Couldn't corral that puck. Ristolainen with it again. Behind the net for Sanheim. Sanheim dancing away from Achari. The Flyers D-men playing catch here. Now Ristolainen skies it out to center. Konechny there, taking a heavy check from Letang. Porter Martone in to the zone. Stops, waits for a trailer. Now brings it out and scores. And that might be the dagger in tonight's game. Porter Martone. After Konechny chipped it into the zone, was able to scoop it up, stopped, was looking for a trailer initially, but then a shooting lane opened up, and he picked the top glove side corner on Stu Skinner. Maybe used Nolachari as a screen a little bit. And Martone gives the Flyers a 2-goal lead here with 2:37 left to go. Play resumes. 2:30 left to go. Stu Skinner goes off to the bench. Penguins trying to get offensive zone possession here. It's skied out to center. Erik Karlsson fanned on his panorama pass. Almost turned it over to Glendening. Now 2:15 left to go here. Penn's got to get one quickly here to have a chance. Shot in from center. Glove down by Dan Vladar, and they blow the whistle. They save Vladar. Held it long enough to warrant a stoppage. And with 2:08 left, the Pens are going to have an offensive zone face-off with the goalie pulled. Shots into game 20-15. Favor of the Flyers. It reflects on the scoreboard. 3 goals. Except for maybe that last one from Martone. No real fault to be put on Stuart Skinner tonight. Kept the Penguins in the game when with their poor defensive play and multiple odd man rushes the other way. We now take a commercial break, I guess. I don't know. Looks like it's going to be a first game 1 loss here for the Penguins, but still, more games ahead. 7-game series here for a reason. Pens going to need to just come back here Monday night. We won't be live for the game Monday night. We'll have a normal SCSR or Steel City Sports Report live stream to recap everything that went down for the week, do another mock draft ahead of the 2026 NFL draft on Thursday. Same thing will happen on Wednesday as well when the series shifts to Philadelphia. Trying to kill time here during this commercial break. Not going to take a, break on this stream. Trying to kill time, scrolling through Twitter right here. Looking, Pens game coming back on over here. Apologize for some dead air. Not too much analysis to be taken away there during the commercial break. Pens still at the empty net with 2:08 left to go. Flyers win the draw in their own zone and clear it. Length of the ice. It's going to be an icing here on Philly. Could do that for the next 2 minutes, really, if they wanted to. 2:03. Flyers will again have this draw. It will go from the right of Vladar now to the left. Crosby on the draw. And Sid loses it. Couturier with the win. Malkin up high. Carlson back to Malkin. Ian Carlson playing really dangerous pitch and catch right now. Puck hops over the stick of Brian Rust and the Flyers, trying to get it out. Couldn't do it. Crosby keeps it alive for Rust. Now to Letang. Carlson. Pass over. Malkin. Back to Carlson. He'll drive it. Flyers trying to clog the shooting lane. I believe it might have gone in on Vladar, but they clear it back out to center. Dump in by the Pens. 1:27 now remaining. It's like that is Glendening pinning it up against the boards in the Pen zone. Got to dig it out there quickly if you're the Pens. Carlson jamming it in there. Sidney Crosby and Travis Sanheim are delivering some cross checks and punches to each other. Sid and Sanheim might go. Sid a slash now. And now Sid and Ristolainen. Looks like both Crosby and Sanheim are going to go here. And that pretty much seals it for the Pens, if we're being honest here. Sid and Sanheim, frustrations boiling over here for the Pens. Sid taking out a little bit of those frustrations, and with 1:09 left to go and the captain in the box, that's going to do it. Looking here, Sanheim a cross check, Crosby a punch, Sanheim another cross check, Crosby a slash. Two combatants right there. Sid's had enough. He's barking at Sanheim in the box. And that is the Battle of Pennsylvania. I will be very, very shocked if every single game in this series, except for maybe the last one, even then, who knows, doesn't end in some way, shape, or form with, stuff like that. Players taking frustrations out. You will see maybe, unless, there's like a clear with like 2 seconds left, you may see gloves hit the ice and punches get thrown here by the time this game is over. Pens took a timeout. It's going to be 4-on-4 here. Here's a look at Todd Reardon, the old Pens assistant coach, switching sides. Last year he was with the Pens and Mike Sullivan. Now he's with Rick Tocchet and the Flyers. 2 minutes. 4-on-4 for Sanheim and Crosby. It's going to be 4-on-4, but the Pens are going to have a 5-on-4 advantage. They leave the net empty. Skinner remains on the bench. Noel Acciari taking the face-off against Sean Couturier. And Acciari wins it. Great job there by number 55. Carlson here to Malkin. Malkin, his shot there. In front, score! Let's go! Brian Rust. The initial shot attempt from Erik Karlsson was blocked, and the puck, a lucky bounce, goes right to the stick blade of Rust. And the Penguins on the 5-on-4 get the goal that cuts the lead for Philly in half. And with a little over a minute to play, they still got a chance. Still got a chance here. Score now 3-2. 1:01 left on the clock. 61 seconds, and still the 5-on-4 man advantage for the Pens. Skinner is going to get out of his crease and go now. Erik Karlsson, pass here to Rickard Rakell. Rakell squeezes by a hip check attempt into the corner. Rakell, now Ristolainen fights it along here. Backhands it out to center. 35 seconds left. Karlsson back with it to Rakell. Pens are going to have one last try up ice here with 30 seconds, and that's it. Karlsson to dump in. Try to caddy Wampus bounce off the boards there for Malkin. Didn't go. Rakell up high with it. Back to Malkin. 20 seconds now left. Oh my goodness. Gino's pass behind Karlsson, who stepped down. It goes out the center. 15 seconds now left. Malkin trying to cross ice pass again. Knocked down by Sanheim. Kept alive by Karlsson. Malkin with it. Stepping down. Now to Acciari in front. Or no, it's Mantha. Backhand save made by Vladar. Send it back in front, and the Flyers hold on for the win. The Pens, a late push there. They got within one. But Dan Vladar made a big save as Anthony Mantha went to the backhand. And the Flyers hold on to take game one. There's your final score, 3-2. It was too little and too late for the Penguins there. They were outplayed for most of this game by the Flyers. They got close to tying it up late, but they fall in game one by the final score of 3-2. They'll have one more game in Pittsburgh on Monday, and then the series will shift back to Philly on Wednesday. That's going to do it here tonight. No sort of analysis for me to give. Pretty burnout. We'll talk about it on Monday. It's going to be a quick live stream on Monday, around 5:30-ish. We're going to cut it to about an hour live stream, most likely, and then we'll log off and watch game two. Please, all of you who stopped by here tonight, I want to thank you. Please stop by throughout the week coming up if you're an NFL fan. NFL draft coverage here on the channel will be coming up. We'll have at least Monday and Wednesday live streams where we do mock drafts here ahead of the draft. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we'll be live here to recap everything that goes down in the NFL draft. Hopefully good stuff ahead for the Steelers and better stuff for the Penguins tonight, because that was a rough watch. Maybe it's, I'm a superstitious guy. Maybe it was me live streaming. Who knows? So Pens need to regroup. We'll see what they bring on Monday. We'll be live right before the game and then log off so we all can go our separate ways and watch on Monday night. Thank you all for joining me. Have a good rest of your Saturday night. Enjoy the time off tomorrow. Back here on Monday for a mock draft Monday for the Steelers and talk about everything that went down this weekend, including this game. Have a good night. Pens fall 3-2, lose game one. Got a rebound on Monday. Peace.